So to give us a bit of perspective on what we heard yesterday and also to inspire us for the work we have ahead, we've invited a special guest, Tatiana Figueroa Ramirez, who is a poet who is born in Puerto Rico and believes that the perspective of the marginalized is necessary and, in fact, infuses her work. Her poetry has been published in several books, and she's the author of her own book of poetry and currently performs, facilitates workshops, and hosts events in the greater Washington, D.C. Good morning, Tatiana, and looking forward to your poetry.
Good morning, Willow, and good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. As Willow mentioned, my name is Tatiana Figueroa Ramirez, and I am originally from Puerto Rico and have been living and working in the Washington, D.C. area for the past 15 years or so. Living in DC and being from Puerto Rico, I can tell you, and I'm preaching to the choir here, that gentrification is real and displacement is real. And it really saddens me to see how much has changed and how populations have changed because of that. But it also gives me a lot of hope to see events like this where people can come together and hopefully create a better future for our people. I leave you with this poem. A city breaks in 3 parts. 1. Read my veins and they will map you to a land not near here. Street names and neighborhoods foreign to present day and only present in memory. This place that was home, where the corner store owner knew I was Papito's kid and that I was the youngest of 3. Where I could walk from one grandmother's house to my godfather's house, past my aunt's apartment, and end at my other grandmother's front porch. Where I had my first birthday party, Minnie Mouse themed, and it seemed like the whole town showed up. This world was ours. Oceans of languages mixing together like rivers pouring into the Atlantic. Church choirs sang in English, in Amharic, in Spanish, in French, in Creole, in Tagalog, in tongues I could never recognize. Food stewing to bless parted windows with scents and steam, reminding us of where we were born, yet affirming to us we belonged here too. A beautiful oil painting placing hues of brown into melanated rainbows, an altar to the generations before and what they lived through and what they created for us. A sanctuary for the asylum they sought, an ode to them meant to last more than a lifetime. This place that no longer is, because the ancestors have transitioned and turns out they never got around to owning. Turns out because we are Black and brown, it doesn't really matter where our home is, how fluid it is, how it rocks between blocks rolling into spaces never touched by us. Turns out landlords have no regard for preservation when selling means 6+ figures in a check. Turns out checkbooks outvalue childhoods and the places they remain molded by. Like fossils buried beneath years of dirt and dust, except this dust only took a year to collect between demolitions, renovations, and building projects. Demolishing homes, screening documentaries of communities forgotten, renovating blocks upon blocks as if our grandparents did not carve them with their own palms, building projects only after breaking a people pushed out of the only homes we've ever known. 2. My veins bleed, stretching further and further, reaching for a place that only lives in our family stories. I walk hoping to catch a glimpse of what I miss. Luxury condos now tower over the freshly paved trail. Whole Foods competes to beat the new shine of streetlights. A French bakery squeezes between a Sweet Green and a Chase. The sidewalk is busy, people paired with yoga mats or leash dogs or recyclable totes. I know no one. This is when I wonder what happened to the girls who played double dutch, curls bouncing to the beat of the ropes. Where is the woman who used to sit outside of her shop when the sun was just right? When did the boys stop riding their bikes on the curb, 2 at a time taking turns? I don't even see store signs in Spanish or Amharic. The wind running to find country flags that once hung over open doors and bay windows. Someone's great aunt stands under an umbrella with mangoes and watermelons housed in Ziploc bags as the sea of strangers pass her by. No one understanding what she is even selling and why she shows up religiously and who is waiting for her at home. This is not what my mother imagined for me and mine. This is not what our place was supposed to become. This is not where we belong anymore, and I'm not sure what pains me more. The subtle passive aggressive motion to scoop streets of city in one arm while holding us back as if we were the thieves intruding in a space we never inhabited. Or how other worlds look upon us silent as if no wrong has been done at all. 3. My veins continue to cry, trying to map me home, map us home, and they scream in an attempt to find what was once ours, the one that is just a pandemic away. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years more. Endless businesses closed, buying local no longer a thing, rent growing beyond what our banks can stretch, living local no longer a thing. I know nothing of this neighborhood, as if I had dreamed a community now either extinct or it was never real to begin with. They disappeared, displaced to a land I do not know. So far away, I question my sanity, our very existence, like Harlem and U Street, like the Black capital of the South, like Black Wall Street, Greenwood District in Tulsa, burned to ash and blown away because why remember what happened a century ago, 50 years ago, or just a decade ago? Why teach that Black and brown can thrive? Why act like the only solution is to demolish, to renovate, and to build under the leadership of millionaires, billionaires not from here? Gentrification breaking ground until we forced to fall into pieces. We cracked open and pulled apart like gems being mined, never quite able to be whole again. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow. Thank you, Tatiana. That was beyond gorgeous and inspiring and reminds us that there are so many ways to engage and do this work. Thank you.